Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the 53rd episode of Wowhead Weekly. We have a ton to talk about today with some promo codes that we have that are expiring soon and some new merchandising stuff. That's at the end, though. First, we're going to talk about some holiday stuff and some pet battle stuff, a lot of pet battle stuff, actually. But without further ado, I would like to introduce my lovely co-host, Wowhead site manager, Perculia.
Hey everyone, this show is going to be great because I love pet battles and we have a ton of information on them and we also have more cool merchandise to share with you. So yeah, let's talk about the Blizzcon stuff first.
Let's do it! I'm so excited. I can't even handle how close BlizzCon is. This is not part of our notes. This is just me personally. I can't deal. It's like right around the corner. I was filming, and we're gonna talk a little bit about Loot Crate after, but I was filming my Loot Crate unboxing and it was funny because I completely skipped over the month of October. I was like, and the November theme is combat, da 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 da. Like, no, Danielle, October's the next month, but I'm so hyped for BlizzCon that I just neglected the month of October entirely.
Well, Halloween is pretty cool. So.
I'm excited for Halloween, but that's almost November. That's like November light, so no big deal.
Yeah.
But we did find out some really cool stuff about BlizzCon this year, specifically the goodies that you're going to get for either going to BlizzCon with a physical ticket or getting a digital virtual ticket. And you're going to get Mercadin, which is the in-game World of Warcraft pet. This is the Heroes of the Storm mount. It's called the Nexus Beast. The Hearthstone card back. These are the StarCraft portraits, and these are the Diablo rewards, which are awesome. I love that Murloc portrait, and these are all so cool. The Mercadin Battle Pet has themed abilities like Mercmorphosis. The Nexus Battle Beast mount for Heroes of the Storm has 3 color variations, blue, purple, and yellow, which you get as you level up your hero. The Hearthstone card back, of course, is super cool, and there's been one it's only been one, but there's been one for every BlizzCon so far.
Yeah, all 2 BlizzCons.
And I'm really excited about the Diablo stuff, particularly that portrait. The portrait is super cool. What do you think, Perk?
Yeah, I mean, I still like Mercadin the best. We made a video of his model, but he changes color from purple to sort of, like, black, like dark violet, which I think is, it's a super cool effect, so I'm excited about that. And besides that, the Diablo stuff as well looks pretty cool. The Treasure Murloc pet is just, fun and adorable. So yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm super excited. I'm excited for BlizzCon on all accounts, though. Like, of course, it's always cool to get stuff like that. But even this year, if you have the virtual ticket, you will have access to buy the BlizzCon goodie bag, which is new this year. And we also know what's in the goodie bag, also new this year. And the big item, the big ticket item this year is the bag itself. You'll get this BlizzCon embroidered messenger bag with a Hero of the Storm, Heroes of the Storm, not just one hero, multiple heroes, plural, with a Heroes of the Storm blind box figure. You'll get that really cool Mercadin pin. There'll be an Overwatch pendant, a Diablo keychain, that very phallic-looking blow-up sword, and a luggage tag. And it's pretty cheap. I want to say it's like $39.99, which for all that stuff is a pretty solid deal. But of course, even aside from the goodie bag, aside from the virtual things that you get in-game, there's a lot of perks to getting a virtual ticket. Of course, you kind of have like this front row seat to everything that you want to see, whether it's the panels, the tournaments, the contests, the opening or closing events. And the best part is probably that you can access replays for up to 2 weeks afterwards, so you don't have to worry about watching every single thing in that little like 2-day period.
What I really like about the replays is that they show a lot of art. At every presentation, so if you really want to zoom in and see what like a demon hunter looks like or like an artifact weapon, you can just rewatch all that and pause on a frame and actually see everything if it moved too quickly before.
Yeah, and a lot of times there's 2 things going on at once too. Like you might want to see a tournament that's going on during a panel, so you can watch one and then watch the other one later. You're not in a position where you're forced to really make a choice. And again, you will have access to the goodie bag as well as the BlizzCon shop, which there's some like exclusive merchandise that you can only get if you go to BlizzCon.
Yeah, they always do that every year. So like the Frostwolf pup, I think, was originally up on the shop. There were these robes last year. I think it was Bloodfang and Warlock, and then a Draenei Priest, stuff like that. That you get access to.
Yeah,
and I believe they opened it up a little bit in advance last year. We don't know about this year, but you can buy some stuff right before BlizzCon.
Yeah, it's really cool. And of course, the biggest thing that you should be excited for regarding BlizzCon is the Wowhead party. We are so so excited this year. We have this massive venue, so we'll be able to hold so many more people, because if you've ever been to a Wowhead party in the past, the line is crazy.
Yeah, we don't want any lines this year.
Yeah,
one thing that will not be at the Wowhead party, hopefully, are lines.
Yeah, because the space that we have is enormous, and it's so cool. We got a ton of special guests line up, and like just all. Oh, I don't want to say too much, but I'm really, really excited for it. I'll be hosting the live stream portion of that, so if you aren't going to actually go to BlizzCon, you can still kind of attend. You can still be there in virtual spirit.
Yeah, I mean, last year we gave away lots of prizes if you attended. Like the CM stopped by and they gave away a Murky code, but we also made sure that people that were watching from home, felt involved, because there's so many people that can't attend BlizzCon.
Yeah.
And, we gave away prizes on Wowhead, like TCG loot items, like, tabards, mounts, that kind of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And we want it to be even better this year, so.
I'm excited, too, because we have that Wowhead art contest going on for Legion, and Perk's been talking about possibly finding somewhere where we can display a bunch of the art at the party, which I'm super excited about.
I know some people have been thinking that, like, oh, I won't win because the prizes are really cool, so, like, why should I enter? It's like, it's meant to be a community thing, like, win or lose. If you do a serious art entry, we'll, try to find room for it to display it on these really cool, display cases at the actual party.
Yeah,
so,
I'm really excited. I am super, super excited. So, of course, keep your eyes peeled, because we'll be releasing more information about that as it gets closer. And like I said...
Also, it's free, and you don't need any RSVPs. So.
You
don't even need to attend BlizzCon.
Yeah,
so if you're just in the area, you can go.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to have a BlizzCon ticket. There's no cover fee to get in. It's going to be a good time. I'm really, really excited about it. I'm just... I'm almost more excited for that than BlizzCon. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Wow.
I know. Yeah. You're like, why? Wow. That's ridiculous.
No, you're like Overwatch beta.
No, I like
that's pretty.
Those are the only two things I care about in life right now: are Overwatch beta and the BlizzCon Wowhead party. I wish we were doing some stuff about Overwatch, because they did release 2 new heroes this week that both look awesome. I really, really can't wait for Overwatch. It's let's move on to pet battles before I go off on a tangent. I'll flip it over to you so you can talk a little bit about this stuff.
Cool. So the pet battle bonus event is going on from September 23rd through the 28th. And the biggest part of it is the Sign of the Critter buff, which means that experience gained by pets during the event is increased by 200%. This isn't just for Draenor. This works on like Pandaria, Azeroth, anywhere. And it's really awesome for power leveling pets, because you can combine this with the Safari Hat for 10%, the Lesser Pet Treat for another 10%, and the Pet Treat for 50% for really big experience gains. And it's almost to the point where you basically can get a pet from level 1 to 19 in one battle against Draenor Tamers, the Pandaria Elementals, Eris the Collector, or any other trainer that is level 25 pets. Basically, your pet just has to get one hit in, or just, take one active turn, and then swap it out for 2 overpowered pets to do the rest. And if you're not really sure how to beat a tamer with 2 overpowered pets, the pages on Wowhead users have tons of strategies on, like, all their favorite pets that have weird combinations that you can take a carry pet along to. So that is a great source for strategies, and I highly recommend it, because it's really awesome to get a pet from 1 to 19 in, just in 30 seconds or so. Besides that, there's also a PvP pet aspect, which is a little more controversial. We'll talk about that. But basically, if you win 5 battles, you get an Ultimate Battle Training Stone, which takes your pet from 1 to 25. And because a lot of people that collect pets don't really PvP, we made a new guide to pet PvP by Serene. And some teams that we suggested are the Spawn of Nathis, Blackfuse Bombling, Merkalot, Crawling Claw, Rotten Little Helper, Emerald Protowhelp, Graves, Kovak, Alterac Brewpup, and the Unborn Valkyr, Little Ragnaros, and Mechanical Pandaran Dragonling. And you basically want a team that has a mix of weather and stuns and offensive abilities, but the thing that a lot of people are talking about is, is this worth it? If pet PvP is so challenging, is the reward worth it if you can easily get, a pet close to 25 in other, much easier ways, repeatedly?
There's definitely easier ways to get them to level 25. I mean, if you're already into pet battling on a PvP sort of aspect, I think it's definitely worth it because it's something you're already doing. You're kind of practiced doing it. But like most things in life, because there is a strategy to it and because there is, you know, a real skill to it, to go in there as a novice, you're probably going to get mopped up. It's sort of like arena weekend all over again.
Yeah, and some of the pets are, you know, kind of difficult to get. Like the Unborn Valkyrie is pretty rare to get. Graves is pretty overpowered for PvP, but you have to do Heroes of the Storm. And while we know we have lots of Blizzard fans that, you know, play multiple games, not everyone does. So you might even be like, I've never seen this pet before in game, and I can't buy this from the AH. What is this?
What in the world is this guy? Graves is such a cute little guy, though, even if he is level 1. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would say that it's worth it either. It'd be more one of those things where, I don't know, maybe there should be achievements for, like, participating in all of the weekend events and stuff like that to give a little bit more incentive than just the item, because winning 5, I mean, you could realistically do 25, 30, 40 battles to win 5. I mean, you don't, you just
and
never
that's the
know.
amount of time frame. I mean, that's not even just winning 5, it's you have to assume that if you're not very good at PvP, you're probably gonna lose a few in the interim. And I mean, I don't really pet PvP, I have a lot of pets though, but if you're not level 25, the queue to find people with that similar bracket of pets, it's a really long queue.
Yeah.
So if you're really new to pet battles and you don't even have pets that are 25 yet, this may not be something that is super fun for you.
Yeah, but with the experience buff, like you said, you can really level someone 1 to 20 in one pet battle.
Yeah, I think people should focus on that instead.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, if you can level up that way and power level that way, especially if you're putting on your hat and you're eating your biscuits and you're doing all that, that's probably a more effective way of leveling. But if you want to do the quest, there's always that option as well.
Yeah, another thing is that you can go and do the tamers every day. Mm-hmm. But with that quest, it's a once per event quest per character. Yeah. So that just seems a little weird, you know? It's like, it's if you don't have many alts, it's like, well, I did this quest and now I'm done. To get this 1 to 25 thing, but you can repeatedly, you know, do the 1 to 20 grind every day, or in the case of the Tanan pet battles, which have the really cool +5 leveling stones, you can do those on as many alts as you want every day. Yeah. You could do like 100 Tanan pet battles. I don't recommend that, because they're really repetitive, but you could totally do that. So, I don't know. I think the reward could be changed. I know they've changed it before for
absolutely nothing
time
in World of Warcraft is repetitive. You're crazy.
But yeah, I feel that, you know, they changed time walking rewards to be better. Yeah. They changed the dungeon ones to be better, I think. So it seems like maybe this could get a tweak. I think Kaivax was saying that the stone is cool because you can use it in the future while, you know, in the future this leveling buff's going away. But if you're the type of person that needs a pet to be 25 instantly, you probably already know that, you know, you have like your stones saved up, you know that there's other ways to get it done.
It's like they could take that exact same thing, instead of making it 5 PvP, they could make it 10 like PvE, or like make it 5 pet trainers instead. And it would at least be something where you could go in with a strategy, whereas it's really hard to go in with a strategy for PvP pet battles because you just don't know. Like, you could just get really unlucky and get against somebody who can just...
Yeah, maybe the title is bad, too. So many people are scared of PvP, and they think, like, am I PvPing with my pet out? Or, like, PvP, I'm not good at PvP, do I have to move?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely understand. But also, because it is the pet battle holiday weekend, this is a really good time to do, like, leveling and collecting type stuff. And the wonderful Perk, who I'm talking about, like she's not sitting right here, put together some charts using Wowhead profiler data. The first one is the most popular and down to the least popular pet battle achievements. Now, the least popular ones are obviously towards the bottom, and this is on percentages. So 0 means 0%. And then 100 would mean 100%. So those least popular ones are obviously the PvP achievements, which we've been talking about. The Awfully Big Adventure with the Alec plushie, which is a very, very challenging pet battle achievement. I started it, and I mean, I'm so frustrated. I'm maybe 20% into it, and it's really, really hard.
Yeah, I did it recently, but it takes a while because you have to do 3 weeks of the Celestial Tournament, and then you have to wait for the Dark Moon Fair.
You also have to have extremely specific pets to, like, beat certain things. which was my biggest problem, is I didn't have the right pets. Like I had like 80 something level 25 pets, but that doesn't matter because in order to do it willing to, you need the exact right ones. Then also so many pets is really low down at only 7%. Now the most popular ones are the very basic ones, the collect ones, the collect 1 to 250 pet achievements. Raiding with leashes is very popular, and I think the reason for this is that you can kind of cheese this achievement. You don't actually have to go get all of the pets. Your friend can trade them to you. You can learn them and then trade them right back, and then you get the achievement without having really done anything. And then taming Azeroth is pretty popular too, which is to defeat all of the pet trainers. Then Perk also made, did you have something to say? I'm sorry.
Oh, just that these were the achievements. To clarify, these were ones that had rewards attached to them, so there's many more miscellaneous ones, but these were sort of like the ones that you would be motivated to go out and get.
Yeah. And then you also made a chart of the top 10 level 25 pets, correct?
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about this last time, but we didn't really get into the specifics of it. So I'll let you talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So, basically, this can be a good guideline if you're like, what do I level? And these pets are all obviously popular for, like they're really good pets. They're not just pets that look cool. So, here's a brief rundown of why these pets are in the top 10, why we think they are. The Nubisath Idol you can get from Encourage, and it's just a really strong pet. It heals for 4% each hit. It has Sandstorm, which is really good at negating abilities that have like multiple hits, and it also has Deflection, which is a really awesome defensive ability. Basically, you put it up and it blocks the next attack. There's Chrominius from Molten Core, and it's part of the Howl Bomb duo with the Pandaren Water Spirit. Basically, you get up a few abilities and then you hit like a plus damage buff and everything hits like a truck and then just kills the elite pet. There is the Kunlai Runt, which is a wild pet battle in Pandaria. And it's really good against critters because it has reduced damage from critters, but also abilities that do increase damage to them. So that's really good if you're trying to, power level some pets, doing wild pets. There's the Clockwork Gnome from Archaeology. It's a really good mechanical pet. It has strong abilities like build, turret, and heal. The Unborn Valkyr is there, even though it's really rare to get. It's from a specific rare spawn
I don't even want to
area.
talk about the Unborn Valkyr.
It's bad.
I don't even, it makes me sad. It breaks my heart. It hurts me in my soul.
So this pet is really difficult to get, and it looks really awesome. And it's an undead pet with a really unique set of abilities that is good for PvP, but is also good for burst damage combinations as well. And there are hundreds of Wowhead comments about how you should try to find them and how to use it.
It's really hard to find a pet that doesn't exist, Perk.
I'm sorry. Moving on with undead pets, there is the Scourge Whelpling, and it is a wild pet in Ice Crown, and it is good for Dragonkin because it takes less damage from them as in dead, but some of its abilities deal extra damage to dragons. There is the Terrible Turnip, which is from the Tiller's Farm in Pandaria, and this is really good for catching wild pets because the ability Weaken Blow will not kill pets, it just takes them down to 1. So if you've ever been like me and you're using a pet and then its ability crits and it kills the rare pet you're looking for, you want this pet. Like if you ever find an Unborn Valkyr, you want a turnip there so you don't accidentally kill the Unborn Valkyr you're trying to capture.
That's gonna be my luck. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna kill it and then I'm gonna carry on.
So next we have the Celestial Dragon, which is a little sad because it used to have this really kind of overpowered magic ability, and it also had buffs that gave extra magic damage, but they removed that ability. So we think this is popular because it looks like super cool. It's spectral. It's from an achievement you get for collecting pets. But we think that right now it's not as popular. We just have a lot of people that level this, back in Mist of Pandaria. Next up on the list is the Fell Flame. It's a wild pet. There's some in Tanan. And it has a really good Conflag and Scorched Earth combo that a lot of pets don't have. It's good for like elemental and burning damage. And finally, as mentioned, there is the Pandaren Water Spirit, which you have a chance to get when defeating the flowing Pandaren Spirit in Dread Wastes. And as part of that Howl Bomb combo, basically, it has like a Geyser and Whirlpool ability combo that go off in 3 rounds and 2 rounds, and then if you get up a like plus damage buff, the damage buff goes up when those 2 abilities explode at the same time, and then the elite pet falls over, which is really good for things like the Tanan pet battles or elites in general. Like even the celestial ones fall over when you use that combo on them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it just like I know we were just talking about how fantastic the Unborn Valkyrie is, but she's a B word and I'm done with her in my life.
Until you get her, then she'll be
so upsetting. I have spent so much time in like server hopping and like I've done all the strategies you can imagine, and like she does not exist. The only time I ever saw her, someone like swooped in out of nowhere and started the battle, and I was like,
no, that happened to me one time. I saw her and I was like getting my pets in order, and then someone swooped in when I was standing there, and I felt sad.
And felt sad.
Yeah, and then I just sort of was a Northrend for like, I don't know, I just dedicated the whole afternoon to that, and I got lucky right outside of Iceground Citadel, and I was happy.
Yeah.
But it took a really long time.
Yeah, I don't know. And you know what the problem is? Every time I dedicate myself, like, I'm getting her today, it's a Saturday. Like, why do I do that to myself? Like, if there's ever going to be a day...
Everyone's on a Saturday.
You know what I mean? Like, everyone's doing that kind of stupid stuff on a Saturday. Like, I need to go up on a Tuesday and, like, really, like, server
Or when there's a holiday like the Super Bowl going on.
Yeah.
Like, an event where people are
like
not in-game.
Yeah, or, like, a real holiday, like Thanksgiving.
Right.
Or something like that. That's a
when
good
people
call.
are forced to travel or... socialize.
Yeah. I'd be like, sorry guys, I can't raid tonight. I know that everybody raids on Tuesdays and this is a raid night, but I have to go find the Unborn Valkyrie. You understand. They would probably be really upset with me. All of the information from the charts that we just showed you, I believe it was this guy and that chart. All of that information comes from the Wowhead database, the Wowhead profiler, which if you don't have a Wowhead account, it's super helpful if you do have one, because when you upload all of your information, that's where it goes, is so that we can make those charts and we can use that data, correct?
Yeah.
I just got scared that I lied.
No, you just go to wowhead.com/list and you enter in your character information. If you use the Drainer Pathfinder tool, it's really similar to that. Like, you just enter in information and we give you a report sort of like on what you've collected and what you still need to collect. And, you know, it helps us get our charts because we only get information from recently updated profiles. We don't want data from someone that hasn't played since Cataclysm.
Yeah.
And, you know, it also helps you because then you can use this information as you go around the site and you can be like, oh, I'm actually missing, you know, these pets or these recipes, and maybe I'll go farm them today.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you want to talk a little bit more about how they can use the Wowhead profiler in lists?
Yeah, sure. So, we have a lot of pet tools on Wowhead. The first thing is the Battle Pet Team Calculator. You can import your in-game team and see its strengths and weaknesses against trainer teams. So, you know, you can be like, oh, my 3 favorite pets are going to get destroyed by this Pandaria tamer. Maybe I should mix it up. And, oh, look, now mine is more powerful than it. And with the profiler, you can do this really cool thing where once you enter in your information, there is a pin option. And if you click on that, when you go anywhere on the site, it will remind you if you've collected that item or not. So if you're looking at a list of 10 mounts, there'll be a little column saying, hey, here's a checkbox, you've collected 5 of these mounts, but not these others. Or if you're reading a guide and you mouse over a tooltip on a battle pet, it will tell you if you have that pet or not. Mm-hmm. So that's like a really useful thing that you can do, but you know, you have to be logged in to do that and obviously have a profiler. And we've also had some recent improvements to the profiler because I got really into collecting pets and I thought that our, you know, tracking could be better, you know, less confusing. So here are some recent things we have up on the profiler. We have options to filter your collections for things by quality and source. We now say what the total number of your pets is at the top of the Battle Pet tab, as well as the number of unique pets. And we've split that out so you can see all your duplicates versus the unique ones at the same time, so you don't have to like scroll through your collection in-game. We have a legend added that explains what all the bars and colors mean, like what does green completion mean, what does like yellow in progress mean. And speaking of that, we changed a lot of the names like complete and in progress and incomplete on the profiler to sort of make more sense with the actual things you're looking for. So with pets, for example, we have complete is max level. Pets that you have that aren't rare and 25 are called low level. And if you don't have a pet, it's called missing. And that just sounds a lot better, I think, than, like, incomplete pet.
What does that mean?
Exactly. So if you are, looking to collect some pets, or if you're like, what pet should I level up to 25? Like, which am I really close to? What are duplicates I can do anything with? Just go to wowhead.com/list, enter in your character info, and that will help you out, and it helps us out, keep powering our charts.
Help us, help you, help us.
Yep.
So we've been talking a lot about pets. What would you say that, like, your favorite pets are in game?
So the Unborn Valkyrie looks really cute. I'm sorry. But I've gotten really into leveling just fun combinations of things, like thematic ones. For example, the Fell Puppy, which is neon green, with the Lost Another Pup, which is neon purple, and then the Cinder Pup, which is neon orange. And they just look super cute together. Or like the Hygel Wisp and the Nordrissel Wisp and the Spirit of Summer for the Neon Wisp combination. Yep. So I've gotten really into silly combinations like that.
I don't pet battle all that much. Like, I have a ton of pets, and sometimes I'll do the tamers to get, like, the rewards that you can buy, but I don't really, like, other than when I initially capture them, I just am into, like, increasing my total number of pets, which is 670 right now, if anybody is curious. And those are all unique because I don't keep duplicates at all. And I really like to keep pets out that are relevant to whatever character I have. Like, I really like to match. So currently my shaman pretty much almost always uses the Searing Scorchling? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah. The one from Midsummer.
Yes. No, not from Midsummer. Wait. The one from the Hygel dailies that you could get out of the bag.
Yeah, I think that was like Midsummer, like, 5 years ago, and then they switched it. So
yeah. So I really like using that because it's like a mini fire elemental. But then, like,
that's cute.
Sometimes when we're in Hellfire Citadel, I like to use the Fell Flame because it's kind of like a Fell version of that, but it still matches. Or I'll use pets that match my transmog. Like, for a while I was using this kind of purple transmog, so I would always use the like Chrominius, or, some sort of, like, purple pet. I have all the dragons, too, of all the different colors.
Yeah, I love the dragons, too. Those were the first ones I started leveling when I moved from collecting to leveling. So, like, I made sure that was sort of my core group, even though they all sort of do the same thing. Like, the Dark Whelpling. That was the first pet that was sort of my first serious purchase in WoW. Like, I heard about it, and I'm like, I'm gonna go farm this back in vanilla. And then I'm like, this is not working out at all. I'm going to go buy this. And it was super expensive. I was super excited that I bought the pet. And that was like my first, serious collector's thing. Yeah, and that was back when pets didn't, like, they took up space in your bags.
When it was like a rare thing. I remember the very first pet I ever saw in game was Mr. Wiggles. Like, it was a moment for me in World of Warcraft. I was in Scarlet Monastery. So I was like level, like, I don't know, what would you be, like 36, 37? And somebody ran past me with, like, somebody in my party ran past me with Mr. Wiggles out. And I was, what is that, and where can I get it? Like, I need this so bad. And it was right after Children's Week. So she was like, well, you can't get it for a year.
Like, oh, that's very sad.
But that was kind of like the very first time. I really like to keep out pets that I kind of consider rare, too. Like, I have the, who's the guy that's like those flickery guys that are like mummies and they're magical?
The Ethereal?
Yeah, I have the
Soul Trader dude. That's a really cool pet.
I like to have him out because he's sort of cool, and I have Murky, so I really like to like use Murky just because it's sort of flashy, But I don't know. I really want to get the Awfully Big Adventure achievement. Someday I'll get really bored and really commit to it because I think Trunks is so cool and rare and adorable.
Yeah, I mean, I know we keep saying this, but, like, for me, it was very overwhelming, and then I just kept looking at the Wowhead comments.
Yeah.
And what I was saying before, just for the users, like...
Well, the Wowhead comments are so good for strategies.
Yeah. Especially when they're like, oh, if you have a carry pet, if you want to get this pet tons of experience quickly, without having it do anything at level 1, all those strategies pretty much work for the Alec plushie, too. So, if you're on the Wowhead page and if you search for the word Alec plushie strat and you don't see anything, look for something that says, carry pet or tons of experience.
Yeah, there's a whole guide for that achievement, too, on Wowhead. And what's nice is that the guide will go through and it'll recommend pets that you do against certain things. But say you don't have those pets because they're really expensive. If you go into the comments, people have gone through and found other pets with the same abilities that maybe you can capture in the wild. Like, I know there was one that suggested a dragon that I didn't have, but the Imperial Eagle chick had the exact same abilities, so all I had to do was go well, I actually had it already, but all you would have to do is go capture it, and it's free, and it starts at, like, level 21, so you're in really good shape, you know what I mean? So if you're ever, like, stuck on something like that, like, the comments are a really great place. Like, the Wowhead community is very, very helpful. And this is actually a good transition, because we did a list of, like, some recent guide updates and some spotlight guides. This week, Wowhead put out a pre-made group finder guide, which sounds like really simplistic, like, oh, you just hit Q and then you go to the thing, but it's not just like how to use it, it's how to use it effectively in different situations. You can use it, like we were talking about the unborn Valkyrie earlier. Like, a lot of people don't think to server hop to get those types of things, and so that's a really useful guide. And then Method put out their Mythic Zul'Harrak and Manaroth guides this week, if that's relevant to your life. It's not relevant to my life.
Even if it's not relevant, you could be like, hey, like, this sounds very scary. How do these smart people do it?
I think it's, like, super interesting to read anyways, though, because if you apply, I mean, obviously in all the mythics there's, like, an extra phase, but even if you apply those mythic strategies to, because other than the extra phase, it's usually just they hit harder. You know what I mean? You take more damage, they take, they have more damage that you need to, they have more health that you need to damage. So a lot of times the mythic strategies are relevant, even if you aren't doing mythic, if you just remove the extra phase. There was also a cool guide by Mad Season Show, which had a power level 90 to 100.
Yeah, a bunch of users recently submitted some really just, neat guides on the game in general, and we noticed this one was getting a lot of attention on the site, and it's really cool. It's pretty much how you hit 100 in less than 2 hours. And I need to look at that.
What?
Like,
that's a thing that you can, in less than 2 hours?
Yeah, like, you have heirlooms, and then, like, you pretty much do, like, bonus objectives.
Okay, so you would have to have all of your heirlooms up to 100.
I mean, you could, but it also seems like there's so many tips in there that, even if you don't have everything, it's still, you could benefit a lot.
I mean, if I could do it in 8 hours, I would be pleased. If I could, you know what I mean? Because I have so many characters above level, like, that are right around 90. Like, I have, like, a 90 warlock, a 91 priest, a 91 mage, a 94 paladin, so I mean,
there's stuff like, there's an experience elixir, and, you should turn in the bonus quest before you look at treasures, and if you have Draenor Pathfinder, you can just fly around and get a lot of treasures which have experience now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then he's like, here's a route if you have Draenor Pathfinder. So, I want to try that out, too.
When you say 2 hours, that's insane. That's...
Yeah. And he's really good at responding in all the comments. Like, someone will say, it used to be 90 minutes, and then they're like, 90 minutes is if you have this speed talent, it should really be 2 hours. And he's like, I tested this again, and I'll change the title. And so, and people have suggested other tips, how to make it faster, and he's modified his guide accordingly. So, it's a really good guide.
I had no idea that was possible. I'm living in the past, apparently. A guide was also put up by Calliope. And that is a zone-by-zone toy guide. So if you're working on toy collecting, and there's a new title, Thrash and Crashin', right? That's the new title for however many toys. So if you're working on that, that is a great guide. Now it goes all the way back to Azeroth too, right? That's not just
so like if you're on an alt and you're in a zone, you could be like, what pets can I get in Ashara? Or like, I'm in the Jade Forest in Pandaria. There's, maybe there's a toy from a quest, but there's also a rare spawn that has a toy, stuff like that. So you can sort of, it's not, if you don't just care about, like, the toys from the rare spawns, if you don't have any toys and you're like, I'm in the zone, what is everything I can do here? That's a really good guide for you.
Yeah, and then there's also a new guide by Henderman, which is overviews of how to solo Black Temple and Ulduar. And things like Ulduar, like the vehicles and stuff like that, like, there are definitely some fights that are very tricky to solo. Or, the guy with the big mace, whose name is escaping me, Thaddeus, is that his name? I can't remember. That Thorum? You have to go, Thorum, the guy that you have to go around the tunnel and then
the gauntlet.
Like, that's so easy to accidentally reset. I've soloed Ulduar a few times, and I've probably reset that, like, 10 times.
And I mean, like, I raided a lot during then, so at first I'm like, everyone knows what's in these instances, but a lot of people haven't, so it's just good to be reminded that, oh, Black Temple has pets, and there's reputation that you can get to Exalted, and Ulduar.
Getting in Black Temple is struggling. If you didn't play in Burning Crusade, if that wasn't something you did, you're like, where is because it's not, so many raids, the entrance is this big,
very grand,
you know what I mean, like, ordeal. And when you go to Black Temple, you are sneaking in through like a tiny hole in the sewers. Yeah. So those are interesting. And then the last one is an overview of all of the Menagerie pet battles in 6.2 by GWise.
Yeah, a lot of the Wowhead comments for Menagerie pet battles were done very early on when they were super challenging, but they changed it recently to be less challenging. So this person was over stuff like, you could use these like a very small amount of pets to level up, or you could repeatedly do this pet battle with this core group of pets over and over, and here's a good one that doesn't take a lot of damage. So, check it out. It's pet battle weekend. You're probably doing the Menagerie anyway if you like pets.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, just to remind you guys, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can get from doing those pet battles in your garrison. There's a toy that you can get that will give you the visual appearance of your pet. There's
that's so cool. Yeah,
there's like 4 or 5 pets that you can buy. There's the spectral pet wand that makes your pets all spooky. So there's quite a few things that you can get for doing that. Even if you're not super into pets, I think it'd be pretty cool if you had a pet that you really liked and to go somewhere and kind of be like, look at me.
I matched my pet.
I matched my pet. So I think that's pretty cool. And then we also have a little section on our notes here of just quick reminders. This is stuff we pretty much went over last week, but I wanted to touch on it again. The Harvest Festival is still active through the 28th. It is not to be confused with Pilgrim's Bounty. And someone on Twitch or Wowhead, I can't remember, somebody informed me that the Harvest Festival is to celebrate the harvest moon, which is the time that summer changes to fall. So that's why it is now, and why it's not Pilgrim's Bounty, because it has nothing to do with Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and it wouldn't make sense to be in August.
Yeah, can't move it to August. So if that's something you've never done before, it's got a little quest line with this faction specific. I think it's either Uther or Grom, correct?
Yeah,
depending on who, which faction you are. And you can get these really cool items that will make you all like neon spectral, like live girls.
Like green and like blue and purple and all that.
Yeah, so those are pretty neat. Also, Brewfest is still active through the 6th, and I think Perk and I are going to make a video later this week just showing you all the rewards that you can get from Brewfest, because there's a lot.
The pet is huge. Yeah. The pet biscuit is taller than a night elf female.
Yeah, they're really, really tall. Well, not them, but the elemental is way bigger than the other ones of that model. And I think there's 5 or 6 pets total. There's 2 or 3 mounts depending on if you did old quests.
Yeah, there's 5 toys now.
Yep. So it's not a super difficult, some of the holiday things, like they send you all over the world and it's this big ordeal. This is all very compact. So if it's something you're interested in, don't forget too, you can do Corn Dire Brew every day. You can queue up for him and he drops 670 mace, a 670 dagger, and 670 trinkets, based on your, whatever your spec or whatever is. And the Wowhead art contest is still alive and kicking. We are having users who are interested submit wallpapers that are Legion themed. They must be specifically created for this contest, so you can't just use an old picture of Illidan or something. You have to make something just for this. And then the winner is going to get a really sick tablet. There'll be a couple runners up who will get still sick, less sick tablets, if that makes any sense. And then 15 people will also get like digital collector's edition of Legions. There's tons of cool prizes. If you are an artist, it's totally worth entering. If you are not an artist, we would love for you to encourage your favorite community artists to enter, because
there are a lot of artists on Twitter, but if you know someone that isn't on Twitter, or, maybe has like a deviant art, or just posts art to Tumblr, or just like, doing art for fun and, them in guild, point them this way.
Absolutely.
We'd love to have more the merrier.
Yeah, and it's a good opportunity to get your art out there for people to see it, and it's a very community thing. We want to see people encouraging each other, and we want people to be like, oh wow, I've never heard of that artist, but they're so amazing, or oh, that's my favorite artist, I'm so glad they entered.
Yeah,
it's just
and
definitely
we have pretty lax restrictions. I know for things like Diablo and Heroes, you have to draw characters in the battle stance, but for this, it can just whatever you are excited about with Legion, like it could be a pile of weapons, or just a picture of a zone, or one figure, or 10, or...
Do you know what I would do if I was an artist that had capabilities and was entering the contest? I would definitely do like a postcard of like zones from Legion. Like, welcome to Dalaran kind of thing. Like,
that would be cool.
That's totally what I would do, except I have no artistic ability whatsoever. Steal my idea.
Like, a travel posters would be fun. I think.
Or like,
didn't they do that for a past? Like Blizzard did that themselves. I thought for some past.
Maybe
zones,
it's possible that I also don't have creativity on top of artistic ability. I can accept that.
I thought it was a cool idea. Like some, famous, like some rich marketing person at Blizzard's like, oh, we should have them be travel zones.
Oh, that would be sick if they gave those out at BlizzCon of like postcards of all different areas, but you could only get them from different booths. So you'd have to go like booth to booth to get the whole set. Blizzard, steal my idea and then give me all the postcards. I'm into it. That's totally fine with me. And then we did want to touch on some merchandising stuff. Do you have your loot crate perk?
I have the Hearthstone items behind me.
Okay, well, I have the whole loot crate.
Oh, okay, well, we can do this instead.
So we're in good shape. So this month's loot crate was summon themed, which was really exciting because 2 of the items, I think technically 3 of the items, but whatever, were Hearthstone themed, and it's super cool because the inside of the box is all like summony, and this isn't in the box because I really love him. I got like a golden Homer Buddha. I just think he's so cute. So he's already on my desk. But the Hearthstone items, there was, just to get the non-Hearthstone items out of the way, there was a supernatural die-cast replica of their Impala, and then there was also a Pikachu winter hat.
That was adorable.
So
I posted a picture on
cute.
Twitter of that.
I love it so much. I know that doesn't surprise anybody. And then there was a Hearthstone squishy stress ball guy, and it's all textured all the way around. This is really, really cool. And the other
the packaging was nice.
Yeah, even the packaging was nice. And then this was like my favorite item in the crate. Now, of course, a lot of people are excited because if you scratch this off, you get a free pack of Hearthstone cards, which is why I say I think there was 3 items. I think this is one. I think the Hearthstone cards were another. And then this is actually like a really thick piece of, I don't know if it's like plastic or what, but it's really heavy duty, and it's the box from when you start to open up the game of Hearthstone. And what's neat is in the middle there's this coin that you can pop out, and this is actually the coin that is flipped in game to decide who goes first. And it's heavy. It feels like a quarter. It's the size of a quarter. And when you take it out, you still could display this somewhere. It doesn't look incomplete or like you've taken a piece away from it. I thought this was the coolest thing. This is really neat. I was really impressed with this.
It's also something that's very similar to what they gave out at a past BlizzCon, but only for people that attended it. So if you missed out on that BlizzCon, this is, another way of getting something that is pretty similar and cool.
Yeah, so if you didn't get this loot crate, usually about 3 or 4 months after the crate has come out, they'll do like, if you go to lootcrate.com/gifts, you can buy old crates for the same price as when they were new.
Oh, cool.
But you have to wait a couple months. So if these are things that you want and you missed out on them, like don't freak out. It's gonna be okay because they do usually sell the old crates a couple months later. Also, Loot Crate has a service called Level Up, which is like extra stuff you can get. Mine hasn't come yet, but hopefully we'll see some Hearthstone stuff there too. Because,
that would be very cool.
Yeah, I hope it's not the scarf. I already have the scarf.
I know. I mean, but I don't think the stress ball and the coin are for sale, so maybe they'll something unique. Or
it'll
something
be
that's part of the BlizzCon sale.
What's really neat is that there's 3 different, because it'll be anything that was themed from the box, and there was Pokemon, there was Supernatural, and stuff like that. But there's 3 different like options. There's a wearable option, which isn't just like a t-shirt. It's usually like a polo or like a raglan, like the baseball tops, or a long sleeve shirt, or maybe a zip up. I think they've talked about lounge pants and stuff, or hats. Then there's socks, so you can get 2 different pairs of socks. I have a feeling the socks are going to be Pokemon, which I'm really excited about. It's just a feeling I have. And then there's also one that's 2 like women's accessories, which in the past they've had scarves, makeup bags, hair bows,
Hearthstone hair bow would be cute. You could have a little like stone as the knot, and then,
and then it could be like a card like squished. There's a lot of things they could do. So I'm really excited to see what we get in the Level Up service, because being that I think this box was really, they said it was 2 items. They called this 2 items, but I would say I would call them like 3 or 4, because like I have this little, I like collect coins, but not real coins. Like, you know, when you go to like Disneyland or something, you can put a penny in.
Exactly.
I have like a little pouch that I have like all different things from all over the places I've been. So this is totally going in there. I was really excited about this. And then, like, I'll display this because I love this, and it's super, I mean, I can't bend it. It's really hard.
Where is it? It's behind me. You can't really see it because I think my chair's in front of it, but it looks cool behind me.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to display this, but then I also got a pack of cards and the stress ball. I would call this 4 items, but I'm an optimist. I like my glasses half full. So if you missed out on this, you probably can still get it. It'll just be a couple months. And also, if you want something exclusive like this, a lot of times when people get Loot Crate, if they're not like a Blizzard or a Hearthstone fan, they'll sell just this on eBay for like $3 or $4. So if there's something specific you want, check eBay because you will probably be able to get it from there. Also, this is super exciting. Okay, we got to stand up for this. Wild Bangarang is this leggings company that's they're out of Europe, but they ship worldwide, and they just got a license with Blizzard, so they're doing official Blizzard leggings. Perk and I both wore the fell ones this week because our bodies are ready for Legion. Check it out. Check it out.
I should jump up on this chair so you can see it more.
Aren't we cool?
Yay, we are so cool.
Aren't we cool?
Yep.
So we're really good leggings models, can't you tell?
Let me jump up on my box.
Slippers. I'm wearing freaking slippers.
You can see this a bit better now.
Yeah, they're awesome, aren't they? They're super cool, and I think they can be worn a lot of different ways. And next week, hopefully, because my Horde ones haven't gotten here yet, Perk will wear the Alliance ones, and I'll wear the Horde ones, and they are so sick. They look like armor. They're so cool. So we will show those off next week. It's Wild Bangarang is the name of the company, so you can just Google it. They have all different, like, World of Warcraft ones.
They also have pink ones in what we had, and orange ones.
Was it orange? Yeah.
Yeah, they call them, like, Elementium and Infernal, maybe?
Yeah.
And they've been making teasers about a second line, things like, oh, do you guys want a Dark Moon Fair dress?
Yeah, or
and they have, like, a teaser of Arthas leggings. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, they were talking about doing a lot of different lore characters, like Arthas, Sylvanas, Alexstrasza, and I can't deal. Like, I'm literally going to just wear these pants all the time, and that's it, and nothing else. And sorry, society who wants to see me in jeans, but that's not happening ever.
We'll get some pictures up of these two, in case you missed that clip of us.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was really excellent modeling. I don't know what you mean. I can't imagine what you mean. And then also, we've been kind of talking about this whole month. For the month of September, Wowhead has coupon codes with both of the Blizzard store and Jinx. Let's see if I have the right graphic this week. The Jinx shop is 25% off of any t-shirt, and the Blizzard Gear shop is 10% off of almost anything. So those are still good through September 30th, excuse me. Those are both good through September 30th, so if there's anything you're interested in, now would be a good time to get it, because who doesn't like
it's not just WoW merchandise.
On
At the Blizzard store, we've talked about, like, Heroes figurines that came up, or Hearthstone stuff. All that stuff's good. Jinx t-shirts, again, not just WoW. You can get
anything.
Things that aren't even Blizzard games.
Yeah, they have, like, Portal stuff and Call of Duty, whatever. Any t-shirt on the site is 25% off. And I'm pretty sure that Jinx is an ongoing thing. Like, next month we'll get a new coupon for something different that's not t-shirts, which is really cool and really generous of them to do that for us. So hopefully maybe we'll get something that's like 25% off anything, WoW or Blizzard. We'll see. I will let you guys know, and we will let you guys know as soon as we know.
You'll be very excited about that.
And if you have bought anything, because I know a lot of people have tweeted me and told me, like, oh, I bought these t-shirts because, you had the discount code, or I got a Loot Crate because of the discount code. If you've gotten any merchandise because of Wowhead's coupons or anything like that, tweet us and let us know, because we want to... We're obviously collectors of things. Perk and I both have a lot of things.
Yeah.
So...
And it's just good to know. I mean, if we're like, hey, we love merchandise, our discount code's super successful, it's nice to see, actual fans being happy and enjoying the merchandise that we have.
Absolutely. So if you guys want to see more of that, it would be helpful if we could show off and be like, hey, look, this totally worked. So if you guys have any questions, that would be a great time to ask them. We'll do a little chit-chatting while we wait for the questions to come in. But what was your favorite thing from Loot Crate this month, Perk?
So I really like the hat.
It's so cute. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
it's really
my hat's
adorable.
In the other room right now, but
really
I made a tweet about it, and it's just cute. I like the little details, how it's braided, and then it has the stuff.
Well, and the polos are so cute. They have little buttons on them.
I know.
Really, really
that's the attention to detail is cute. And I don't usually wear yellow, but it looks really cute with pretty much anything you can wear with, like red or black or white. And yeah, I thought that was cute, and this was the first time I actually got a loot crate, so I was like very excited about opening it.
It's fun, right? And like it's just like it's sort of like mini Christmas, and it's not expensive. It's only like $20, and I don't know. Sometimes there's things that aren't my favorite, but I always have like Nick or other friends who it might be their favorite thing. So I've never felt like incredibly disappointed by any means. And I'm so silly that I really love this Homer Buddha. I don't even know what's wrong. I don't know why I like this so much, because it's not.
It's really absurd. Yeah.
It's just really absurd. I think that's why I like it. Is like, what? Look at how happy he is, and he's sitting on a donut. Was yours golden too?
Yeah, I think so. He's in the other room right now.
Yeah, so, he's so cute. He's got a little pretzel. I don't know if you saw that. He's got a little, I don't know. I just think he's so absurd. Yeah. I just love him. But I really like the coin. I was most excited about the coin, as silly as that is, because this is something I'll carry around probably for years. Probably until it gets lost or something, because that's just how I am. I still have my very first BlizzCon that I went to. They gave away keys. Like when you opened your goodie bag, there was a card with a key on it, and then you could go to the, I don't know, it was the gaming company, maybe Alienware.
Yeah, I think they do that every year. Like, you give them the token, and then you can get
you go and you try to unlock the box with your key, and if it doesn't work, most people just throw their key away, but I asked to keep mine, and I've had it in my little, like, because it's a small key, it's not like a big one, and I've had it in my little pouch for like 6 years or whenever it was that I went to my first BlizzCon, because I love little like trinkets like that. So I was really, really excited about the coin. As lame as that sounds.
Another merchandise thing I got recently was the red
I saw him back there.
Super cute. It's like the Crimson Whelpling in game. You know, we were talking about how he liked our dragon pets in games, so really excited that they have this line. You can get the 10% discount on it, and it's really cool. Its belly is sort of, it's not just golden, it's sort of textured, and it's red as well.
He's really cool. Cute. He stands out a lot on your shelf, too. This is a really good question. Someone asked what was going to happen to method guides. Will they be changing to Serenity guides? And do you know anything about that? Because I have a feeling I know, but I don't want to speak for him if you have a different answer.
Yeah, so the Manaroth guide we got in after the Method and Serenity split happened. So the people that were writing the guides, their Method is continuing as a guild. They would like to raid at a high level. They'd like to continue doing these sort of content things that help the community. So, they are committed to finishing out this series of guides, and we have some, discussions about maybe things we can do in Legion, maybe the same, maybe a little different, based on what the raiding scene will be like and what people actually want to get information on.
It was also my understanding that Method really wants to focus on being kind of like a staple in the community, like somebody who really helps people get into raiding, makes raiding more approachable, that while they are raiding at this really high mythic level, that it's also very important to them that people who want to do normals and heroics feel like that's accessible content for them. So they want to focus a lot on streaming and writing guides and doing stuff like that, and not just being world first or whatever. And I think that's like a big part of the split, is not necessarily people hear like, oh gosh, people are Serenity, and they think like Method is it's just it's two different goals is all that it is. Method is still going to be raiding at a mythic level. They're just not going to be competing for world first and doing those really grueling 2-3 week, having to take all of their vacation time from work to try to get world first. And instead they can focus more on, being an asset to the World of Warcraft community. And off the top of my head, I can't really name any other guild that really wants to be so focused. And they're also doing stuff, I think they're doing stuff with like CSGO and Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm.
And, PvP as well. Some of the people on their PvP team were casters at some of the tournaments going on for WoW PvP.
Yeah.
So, if anything, I think they'll be expanding, and if people have any ideas where they're like, hey, a mythic guide isn't that relevant to me, but it'd be really cool if they could do heroic guides or like tips on how to raid, let us know, and this is feedback we can bring up to them.
The next is I'm kind of combining a bunch of questions because they're all Overwatch related. The first one is, are you excited about Overwatch beta? The second one is, do you think that the Overwatch characters will make it to Heroes of the Storm? And the third question is, will Wowhead be doing more on Overwatch once it is released? Let me go ahead and answer the first question. I am basically dead excited for Overwatch beta. I cannot wait. I played when I was at GameStop Expo. I'm basically the best player in the world. That's an enormous exaggeration. But it was just unbelievably fun, super fast paced, super high energy. I love the graphics. I can't wait. I cannot wait. There was also somebody who asked if we thought Overwatch or Legion beta would be out first. We'll do that one at the end. So are you excited for Overwatch beta?
Yeah, I really like how the variety in the characters. Mm-hmm. I like the details, like their backstories and how they all have different silhouettes. And just sort of the maps are really gorgeous as well.
Yeah. They're all based on real places, too. Like, every map so far is based on a real world place.
Yeah. I love the way they do teasers as well. How it's not just like, this is the new hero, learn more. It's, you know, you have the images that tie in with the character's theme and little details about the worlds. So, yeah, I am super excited about Overwatch beta. And I want more Overwatch merchandise.
Yes.
And... yeah.
I definitely think Overwatch characters will be in Heroes of the Storm, too. I don't even think that's... I think that's kind of a given. As far as whether Overwatch is going to be before Legion beta, I think Overwatch beta will be out before BlizzCon. And that is 100% speculative. I don't have any factual knowledge backing that up. But I played Overwatch beta at GameStop Expo. I played on the newest map, which is Volskava. I'm not Russian. Industries. It's the Russian map. And I sat there. I think I played like 5 or 6 games total. And I literally was looking for something. You know, because when Hearthstone beta came out, cards were stuck on the board for months. Like, there were animations that were broken.
We played it against each other.
Yeah, we did. We played against each other at PAX. But it's one of those things where you could very easily spot that it was beta. There was nothing that gave away Overwatch beta being a beta. Literally nothing. There was nothing. Like, there was
I think they'll also want to, like, stagger the betas as well. This is just me being, you know, speculative, but seeing how they've done things in the past. Like, it would not make sense if they're like, hey, here's BlizzCon and a WoW beta and an Overwatch beta and StarCraft coming out, like, all on the same...
Well, I was thinking, too, like, say Overwatch beta comes out mid-October, which is 2-3 weeks away, which I don't know if that's crazy to think that it would be out that soon, but let's say mid-October just for the sake of debate. That would open it up where at BlizzCon they could give a release idea of when, maybe not necessarily like this date, but they could say, you know, live fall 2016. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of the announcement being the beta date, the announcement would be the release date. And then they also asked about if Overwatch would be featured more on Wowhead, and Zam actually has an Overwatch site already. It's called Overking.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in information about Overwatch, it's all there. It's Overking.
Yeah. I mean, we will be retweeting, resharing on social media anything important with Overking. But we have a lot of people that just, like, only want to see WoW information on Wowhead. So
I think
we
I'm
like
going
to
infiltrate Overking against their will. I think, like, when Overwatch starts being relevant, I'm just going to, like, sneak in there and be like, hi, I'm making videos for you now. I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I've been asking Perk like every week, hey, do they want me to make videos for them? Because I'll do it. Hey, do you think they want me to make videos? And Perk's like, I don't know, Danielle. I don't work for them. But yeah, I really, really want to make videos for Overwatch. It's a really fun, and the games are quick too. They're like 20 minutes. It's not something like, and which is also something I really like about Heroes of the Storm, is you're not in these 45-minute hour.
It's not a huge time commitment like a 2-hour LFR.
Yeah, it's excited. And I also think Overwatch beta will be out in October as well, because the StarCraft Legacy of the Void is coming out the Tuesday after BlizzCon, which the date is... So, like, I highly doubt they would have... Yeah. Like, because that would be... I feel like that would be a market of people that would also be interested in StarCraft, because, like, fast-paced. Yeah. And it wouldn't make any sense. And they also said Overwatch fall 2015. And when you're creeping into November... That's really late in fall. December is definitely winter, and I don't think they're going to release it after BlizzCon, so I think mid-October.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
October the something. So, let's see. Are there any other... Are you the girl from King of the Nerds? Yes. Moving on. I think that's about it. I think that's all we got.
Yeah,
yes, I did scalp Pikachu. That's what's going on here, if you're wondering. But yeah, so we do this every week at 6 p.m. Eastern time on Fridays. I want to thank everybody for watching. There's a ton of you guys watching right now. It seems like every week it seems like there's a few more people every week, which is really exciting for us.
Yeah.
If you really like our podcast and you don't want to miss it, you can either follow us or even better, subscribe to us. If you subscribe to us, you can use our little emotes, which we have a Pepe and a Rocket right now. The more subscribers we get, the more emotes that we can make. Also, if you're a big fan of Wowhead and you want to support the show, you can subscribe to Wowhead Premium, which removes all the ads from the site. It gives you all sorts of custom features, like you have a special color when you talk in the comments. You can track quests and you can reorganize your Today in Draenor, and there's a lot of other features too. Those are just a few off the top of my head, but of course the best part is no ads. And you can also check us out on YouTube. We upload our videos there every Saturday, and we also do videos of like new mounts, new pets. We want to start doing like kind of holiday, like, you know, these are the things, like holiday overview things, not necessarily guides, just like, hey, you can get this kind of stuff. It's really cool. So you can subscribe to our channel there and follow us on social media. You can see Perks is above her head, mine is below my head, or just the Wowhead at Wowhead. Yeah. So that's all the things. That's all the things. We are going to go. We will be here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. I hope that you guys will have a
Alliance
wonderful
and
weekend.
Horde leggings?
Yes.
Yep.
Alliance and Horde leggings. The Horde ones are way better. So we're going to go. You
they
guys
are
have
pretty cool.
They're pretty all right. And you guys all have a great week, and we will see you next Friday.
Yep.
Bye.